Welcome to 10K Tuesday. Gotta finish strong. Woo. All right. Oh yeah. There we go. Boom. Got another one in. 10K for today. Now I've earned the right to talk to you. Hi, my name is Scott. You're watching 10K Tuesday. For every Tuesday, we run 10K. And we strive to make 10K too. Kind of a fun goal here we're failing for. Let me dry off a little bit. We'll have a chit chat. There is no more potent way to thank God for his gifts or to increase his gifts to you than by sharing them. I think I got that right. I read that and reviewed that in that book called A Return to Love this morning, and it's just been sitting on my mind. You know, that's the stuff that I talk about on this channel because it just sort of goes hand in glove with another message in this book is why we're here is to heal ourselves and teach others to do the same. So I kind of got inspired by what I wanted to talk about today because, you know, like you, I watch, you know, tons of YouTubers, and there's a fellow that I watch that a million times more of a fitness nut than I am, and somebody wrote a comment on his, you know, one of his videos that said, so let me get this straight, I just work out and everything turns out great for me, ? And I'm going to presume that that was meant to be sarcasm. Let's assume that it is sarcasm, or heck, we could assume it's a legit question, because I thought to myself, yeah, I could see where somebody would say that sarcastically, but in my world, I would have to say, yes, it's true, and I didn't intend it to be true. It started out, you know, when I transcended from being interested in fitness to committed to fitness, everything changed for me. For example, just stuff just sort of starts gelling. So I was sitting right up here on the park bench here a couple of days ago, and I was reading another book that I cite often on this channel, The 7 Spiritual Levels of Success, or something like that, by Deepak Chopra. It's a really thin book. This young man came up to me and said, hey, what are you reading? And The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And he's like, well, how would you define success? And it really caused me to think, because the standard answer that most people give when they're asked that question is, well, I want to wake up in the morning and do exactly what I want to do. If I want to go to Disney World, I can. If I want to, you know, ride around on my yacht, I can. You know, that kind of answer, which ties into financial. And, you know, who in the world is not interested in financial success? I don't blame you. I'm very interested in it. However, if you're just financially successful and you don't care about any other realms of life, it's quite arguable that you're going to come up short. So there's 4 key components that I consider one to be successful in, and folks a lot smarter than me also consider them to be successful. And the first, and I want to try to give credit where credit's due, the first time somebody actually laid out this component, this Navy SEAL named Ray Kashkar, he's all about faith, family, fitness, finance. But it's kind of like the first where I sort of heard it and it gelled for me. And basically there's these like 4 quadrants. We want to put check marks in these boxes daily, right? So let's start with faith. There's a God. The more interested you become in God, the more interested God will become in you. That is something that I have certainly found to be true. If you don't have a relationship with him, or if your relationship started off strong and it's lax, I would urge you to reignite that relationship. He's waiting on you. He's waiting on you. I've found that to be true. I think, like, I talked to him tons when I was a kid, and I think lots of kids do, and they call it their invisible friend. No, I think the kids are talking to God. I know I most certainly was, and then by the time you get to be a teenager and a young adult, you know, your personality sort of gets changed in interest, and and you start to think you're going to live forever and never get sick and always be thin. And for me, that's what happened. And I let my relationship with God wane, and I'm back. So I would encourage you to look into that, or look into God. And I talk to him, every day, or talk with him, and I mean that by really meditation. I would maintain that, if talking to God is prayer, what's listening to him? In the morning, that's the best time. That's why all people who talk about meditation, they urge you to do it in the morning when everything's quiet. Don't turn on the Facebook and see what everybody's doing. Try to talk to God first, or communicate with God first. Communication is a two-way street. All right, so family. Man, we got to check those boxes. I don't have a lot of blood family left, but I look around and I'm blessed with extended family. Ben Franklin said that your brother may not always be your friend, but your friends are always your brother. And I mean, man, I'm just so fortunate. I mean, I've had like 3 or 4 grandmothers. I've had like 3 or 4 father figures, 4 or 5 grandfather figures. I mean, really, if I look around, like starting with my grandmothers, all right, there's my mother's mother, Mommy. There's my maternal grandmother, Mom. There's my stepfather's mother, Meemaw. She was Meemaw to dozens of kids in our neighborhood growing up. And today, my wife's grandmother is still around. She's Granny. So that's 4 or 5 grandmothers I've had just in that realm alone. So if you look around in your life and you work that gratitude muscle, you're going to find you got a lot more cooking for you than you thought. And so, which reminds me, I need to call Granny. I have not called her in so long. So we need to check those boxes. I literally put this stuff on a whiteboard to keep me conscious of, holy shit, man, you haven't talked to Granny in a month? What's wrong with you, dude? So I would encourage that for you. So we've got those 2 boxes: faith, family, fitness. Well, yeah, that's where everything started changing for me, is when I committed to fitness. Fitness, man, just getting involved with fitness, that was the freaking fulcrum, or the lever that changed everything for me. Well, one, I just wanted to look better. Well, then when I looked better, I felt better. And then when I realized, holy shit, I did all that work to just burn 300 calories, and I could, add 1,200 calories on by eating this fast food value meal. So that made me smarter about eating. So I was building muscle and burning fat. So I learned that, and I started decreasing my alcohol intake, all because of fitness. Like just little hacks. Like I heard a friend of mine's dad say, hey, as soon as I stopped drinking vodka, I dropped 20 pounds. So just switching from liquor to beer, and then from integrating non-alcoholic beers into regular beers. Like if I was going to have 2 beers in a night, I have 1 regular and 1 non-alcoholic. And then before you know it, I'm off beer. It's like teaching a horse not to eat. That was because of fitness, right? So we know fitness is awesome for you. I'm not really going to go into that. Finance. That's the 4th area. Yeah, hell yeah, we want money. So because of the fitness, because of for me, stopping drinking and, waking up early and meditating, I gained this freaking clarity. And it's almost like I raised my IQ or something. My money's gotten a lot better. But by the way, let's check in on the money part of 10K Tuesday right now. Hey, all right. So for this week's 10K Tuesday, August 6th here, it's 9 a.m. Part of this 10K Tuesday thing is, I always run 10K, 10 kilometers, and I'm striving to, I've got this goal that I want to make $10,000, on a Tuesday. I more or less did that, but it's just not in a nice, tidy little bow. But, because of this ambitious goal, my trading's gotten better, and that's not what this channel's all about. If you want to get into day trading, study day traders, but it should serve as an inspiration to you that, if you put your mind to something, you can do it. I know it sounds so freaking cheesy, but we've all got the same 24 hours in a day, and if we just dedicate some time to what I call profitable hobbies, instead of just dicking around and watching TV. With YouTube, I call it edutainment. I love watching stuff that entertains me and educates me at the same time. And, you know, because of that, I've learned how to day trade for free. So today, I mean, I don't know, I'm just feeling really stoked. And it's not about me, it's about you. But today, I've made $400 before 9 a.m. You know, to some people, that's chicken shit money. But to a lot of people, they're going to work all day and not make that. You know, and the markets haven't even opened yet. You know, I want you to get stoked about you. This is just something cool that I've learned how to do, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. Short story long. So the 10K, you know, it's not like a clean trade that I'm going to make today, but I've already made it. I've transferred. Golly, stop it. You know, the equity in this account, you know, the total account's worth around 7. I've withdrawn around 3, and I made, you know, $400 this morning. And I don't want to say dicking around. There was strategy behind it. That's where we're at for the financial part of 10K Tuesday. I hope it kind of fires you up that if this regular old dude can pick it up and learn how to do it, that you can too. All right, let's get back to the beach. And we're back. So yeah, making $400 before 9 a.m. is pretty freaking cool. It's all relative. You know, I have slaved for doing back-breaking labor for far less than $400 for an entire day of my life. If you don't believe me, I have another channel here on YouTube called Radon Man, and you will see me install these radon systems. That is an incredible amount of labor. When I say it's back-breaking, I had to get out of it because it was actually hurting my back. I mean, I would actually be sprawled out laying in customers' yards because I tweaked my back, you know, like getting a heavy ladder off the van or something. The drill I used was 3 feet long with the bit on it. Like, go check it out. And, you know, heck, maybe you need to get radon out of your house. The channel's still up, might help you. Okay, so we've checked all 4 of those boxes. And, you know, I hope the conversation has been good for you. You know, I teach, it's selfishly for me because I believe that I don't know what I'm talking about unless I can teach it. Naturally, I want it to help. Oh, by the way, there's something I've been meaning to mention for like the past 3 or maybe even 4 10K Tuesdays. I've registered for a marathon. So that's coming up in November. So I guess I'm technically in training for it. So that's really one of those things that's going to help me be committed to 10K Tuesdays, running 10 kilometers at least on Tuesday, every Tuesday. And it's my first one. So I'm really stoked about that. And it's in Richmond, and that'd be super cool if some other people would join me on that. You never know. Got to put it out there. Got to ask. Anyway, we'll see you at least next Tuesday, and I hope the things I've said are of help to you, and that you have a great day. Do not waste this day. So, yeah, in closing, working out will just fix everything. Kinda, yeah. Because, you know, I've discovered that repetition creates reputation. Man, that's the saying. I totally stole that from this guy on Instagram. He goes by the name Gas Money. When he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so juicy. I love it because I've inherently believed it or intuitively, and I just couldn't put it into words. But repetition creates reputation. Oh man, take that one to heart, and please credit Mr. Gas Money for that one. And you know, when you feel like everything's kind of, you know, kind of wonky, and you kind of get this feeling like everything I touch turns to shit, and there's just so much out of control, you know, I'm reminded of this diagram I've read, that book by Stephen R. Covey, 7 Highly Effective Habits of People. I believe that's what it's called. You know, we're all concerned about stuff, you know, hence the circle of concern. You know, when you watch the news all the freaking time, and you know, you want to control what's going on in the Middle East and etc. Then we've got our circle of influence, which is smaller than that circle of concern, and that's the stuff that we can actually do shit about. And then we've got our circle of control. Well, what's in our circle of control? Our bodies. You know, we control this. once we actually take the time to think about it and then actually do it, and then once we get established control of our bodies, what we put into them and how we use them and how we can make them stronger, well, then that circle of influence gets a little bigger and a little bigger. Sometimes we had to just sort of start over, and maybe that's what happened to me. I just focused on this first. Do that first, and then the rest just sort of seemed to take care of itself. Hey, I hope this is of some help to you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you at least next week, maybe sooner.